Greetings, everybody. It's been a while since I've done a video, or an iOS video, I think. But in this video, um, I'm going to do a tutorial, actually, on how to download apps, compatible apps on older versions of iOS. Define older versions of iOS before iOS 9, because there are a few extra steps besides most apps being incompatible. Um, is the a two-factor authentication, I think, has to be on. I think that started with like iOS 12 or 13 or something. I can't remember. Um, but and where you had to have two-factor authentication on, and and I mean iOS 9 and higher were different than before iOS 9. So like iOS 8, 7 and below, right? Multiple steps, and I actually didn't figure it out until recently how to download apps on because when I tried to log into my Apple ID and App Store on older iOS versions below iOS 9, right, it just doesn't give me an option to enter the verification code, and all my devices will just go haywire. So, and I'm sure that's everybody now, but there's actually a way to download these with sign in, of course, but you actually do the same thing just in a different way, which is interesting. So still sign in to the iTunes Store and App Store and Apple ID, right? Still have to do on their verification code, but it's just a little bit of a different way than iOS 9 and newer. So basically, so So, to get started, right? So, I'm doing it on an iPad Air on iOS 7 because I've not done this one yet. So, it's an iPad Air, first generation, iOS 7.0.6, Wi-Fi 16 gig cellular, black. So just for the information there, and let's get started. So first of all, I do have my main iPhone right here. This is the iPhone 14 Pro, and I'm using it for the verification code. But so yeah, let me turn it this way. So let me go into settings, right? Go into iCloud, right? So let me just enter my information, right? Like my email and password, stuff that I probably shouldn't show you guys. Bear with me here. So basically what you have to do first, let me just block out my information, right, is you gotta enter your Apple ID and password like usual, and then click sign in, right? And then it will say Apple ID verification required, right? So now I go on one of my iPhones, and then it says sign in requested. And now you gotta hit allow, right? And now here's the code. So, so that's what I gotta do, right? You may just store my email, but you know what? It's okay because I'd rather give out my email than obviously bank information, right? So, so now what you have to do is you gotta re-enter your password, right? So, let me just re-enter my password. And then after that, you also add the 6-digit verification code. So, and then click sign in, and then it should work. It just says verifying, and now I'm officially in, so, to iCloud. So, on iOS 7 iPad Air. Look at that, man. So it is still possible, because I thought until like last week, I thought this was impossible to sign in below iOS 9. But no, I mean, it is possible. So merge with iCloud, sure. And now I gotta do the same thing with the App Store and iTunes Store. So, but also sign in. It's the same process. So, your email, your password, click sign in. It will give you a verification code on your newer iOS device, and then you gotta re-enter the password followed by that 6-digit code, and then you should be good. So, and then I'll download some apps and prove it to you, just in case you don't believe me. So, so let me just enter my info. Done. Ooh. And now, if it says it's incorrect, don't freak out, because you just have to go back again, because your device will still give you a verification code. And now what you gotta do is re-enter the password again, right? Followed by a 6-digit code. So, okay. Now it should work. And now I'm in. So, great. So, and now I'm in. So, now I'm officially signed in to Apple ID and App Store on an iCloud on iOS 7, which I thought was not possible anymore until I found this out. So, by watching another tutorial. But look at that. So, and now you can go in the App Store. Now, obviously, there are a lot of apps that are incompatible. So, but if I go to like purchased, right, all my apps are here. And say I try to download, now obviously a lot of apps are probably incompatible. If I try to download YouTube, I don't know if it will work. It says this application requires 14, but you can download an older version. We'll see. What about the NFL app? Probably not. It says 15.0, but you can download an older version. Alright. Apple Store, probably not. 15.0 or later. Yeah, no surprise. There's iOS 7, which is crazy. So, 8. Just about 10 iOS versions behind. In the fall, iOS 7 is going to officially be 10 years old, which is crazy. What about 2048? Download an older version. This one only requires 9 or later, so, which is really cool. What about Geometry Dash 10.0? Temple Run. I believe Temple Run still works on iOS 4, so. What about Sub-Zero? Requires 10 or later, and with no older versions. So I got a few older versions of apps that will still run on iOS 7. Just waiting for them to install, and we'll just load a few, see if they load or not, and then that'll be it for this video. So 2048, we'll see if it loads. Look at that. So there we go. So you can technically use an iPad Air on iOS 7. I would highly recommend getting an iPad Air, especially if it's on its original iOS. And yeah, and play around with it. Do the tutorial I showed you on how to download some older games and apps, so to make it usable in 2023. So, look at that. So let's see if the NFL app will load. and in 2023 on iOS 7. I don't know. It's still showing the NFL mobile. It says 2015 to 2016, so definitely outdated. I don't know if it's gonna load. Probably not. And now I'm just waiting for ooh, it says unable to. Pretty cool. So let's see if these apps. I just want to load Temple Run and then we'll call it a day for this video. But pretty cool stuff. And I got a lot of good stuff coming in the mail. There's an eBay auction I'm hoping I win. So there's a lot of cool videos coming up that I plan. I got some stuff coming in the mail, and I got a few gaming videos coming up. So, and I'm just waiting for Temple Run to finish so I can prove unto you it works. Hopefully, so. Alright, looks like YouTube won't, so. And yes, you see that right, it is 2:30 in the morning. Because I am insane. But, no, not really insane. It's because I gotta go to work soon, that's why. So, it's overnight until early in the morning, so. So, that's why I am up this late, because, but don't think it's gonna load in time. It will eventually finish downloading, but looks like it's not gonna happen right now, but it works, so yeah, take my word that it does actually, it is possible to use some iOS 7 compatible apps, in 2023, and which is pretty cool. Especially because I remember this is the latest operating system and latest iPad. I think when I was going in it came out when I was in 5th grade in 2013, but it was 6th grade when I started playing around with these, when I was the iPad Air, and Air 2 were the latest, and had iOS 7 and 8, so, so, pretty cool. But that's about it, and I will see you guys in the next video.